What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I'm doing this piece because I have a personal experience or connection with this story that I'd like to share. And there's also some other information that I think is of value to all of us. I also realized in researching this story that I have formed a solid opinion as it relates to all of this sex scandal stuff that R. Kelly is going through. All right. Now, I'm just as shocked as anybody, but not so much. But at the same time, I am at finding out that R. Kelly can't read or write, and he can't add and do math. Wow. Now, this might be an old story, you know. I mean, I don't know. From everything that I could find, it seems like that this information became a story, I should say, like last month. You know, like early last month, you know. But it's new to me, so damn it, it's new. Now, before I even get into this whole reading and writing thing, I want to get into an issue that I have with these alleged victims, quotations alleged, and then even higher quotations for victim. I want to get into that first. And what provoked me is I happened to see this video that I'm going to share with you right now. And I always tell you can't just vet whatever it is you're reading or seeing. You got to also vet the source. Who's writing it? Who's reporting it? And then you have to go into understanding who they are and what their motives may be, or if they're even qualified to be presenting whatever it is that you're reading or watching. You know, if you're reading a newspaper article, you should be looking at who's the writer of that article, and then go and do a little bit of research on that person, because that will give you an understanding of their point of view, and do they have any biases and things like that. So I was struck by this, because when I saw this, we know that this is a Fox News whore. That's her only title, whore. Do you understand? Whore. From way back in the whore, just whore, like whore. And it dawned on me while watching this, well, now just a second. This bitch don't care nothing about black folks. We know that. This is the same heifer that was up there proclaiming, well, kids just need to understand that Santa Claus is white, and so is Jesus, and that's the end of it. Her man-sounding ass. I need to taper myself. I don't want to get worked up. At least not this early in the video. So let me settle down. But the optics were all wrong. Let's get into this a little bit first. Let's so you can understand.
Says she moved into his Atlanta home in November 2011 and spent 2 years there. But Kitty says the relationship became violent within weeks of her arrival. She shared details of her time with R. Kelly in her book, I Was Somebody Before This. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
What a title, Kitty.
Now, the optics are all wrong, everybody. The optics are all wrong. The sun must rise in the east and set in the west. It must. Because these are firm laws that the Creator has put in place. And the moment we see it rise someplace else or do anything different, we will all be in an earthly panic. This I promise you. But I thought, why are these heifers up there on her show? But then I answered my own rhetorical questions because I know why they're up there and I know why she's interviewing them. They're up there because they're ignorant. They think they're just getting their story out. And we're going to deal with that story in just a second. They think they're up there getting their story out to this white bitch and her all-white audience. This is ratings for her. And also an opportunity to embarrass and pull down and jump on the piling on of an African man to whom she has no connection. Do you think this bitch listens to R. Kelly? Wait, let's get her.
Welcome to you.
Wait, where's she at? So you can see the bitch while I'm talking about her.
Somebody.
Wait now, damn it.
Before this.
I'm gonna get worked up.
She shared details of her time with...
Damn it all. Do you think this bitch listens to R. Kelly? Or has any real concept of who this brother is? Because R. Kelly is not like Aretha Franklin or, Gladys or Patti LaBelle or even Luther Vandross or somebody. R. Kelly is that urban, he's specifically African. Follow me on this now. Stop listening to the voices in your head and hear what I'm telling you. Hear what I'm telling you. Clear your mind so you can understand what I'm trying to articulate. He is specific. Now, I'm sure there are white folks who know who he is and probably, have some cursory, understanding of him because they've heard a song or two or something, but not so much. Maybe their exposure would be because he wrote a song with Michael Jackson or somebody else that they're more familiar with or that would have more interaction with them, so to speak. R. Kelly is specifically ours. He's that brother from Chicago, like your boy, let me point that out. But he's that brother from Chicago. He has a certain aesthetic as far as the way that he looks, the music that he sings. You see, it's black, dude. It's black. It's distinctly African, and I would frown if I saw somebody pull up to me that was white in a car next to me, and they was blasting R. Kelly. I would look like, why? It just wouldn't make any sense to me. Like, why are you listening to R. Kelly? Why are you listening to R. Kelly? Because the love songs that he does are black scenarios. You feel me? They reflect African relationships between men and women, and how men view women, and how y'all know what I'm talking about. So this bitch would have no and any of them bitches behind her have no connection to this man. None. So this is all
a home
about
in
numbers.
November 2011 and spent 2 years.
This is all about numbers and ratings for her, and putting a black man out on blast.
Kelly,
and also, I always tell you, it's us and them, and they need to be highlighting some black faces in the context of all this Me Too bullshit. They need some black faces to be putting out there, doesn't matter who they are, to try and make their false equivalent that they always try and draw, that somehow they're not the only evil entity on the earth, and indeed they are. They just damn it are. This whole overabundance of attacks on women and harassment and stuff like that, that is them. Because remember, this is their society. They're the ones who are promoting sex in their society all the time. This is their house. So you don't ever go to somebody else's house and assign yourself to some shit that they're doing in their own house. That's not your house. That's what they do at their house. That's why you can put down this we shit. There is no we. It's us and them. So that's her angle, is to put a black face to this hashtag bullshit so it doesn't look like it's just white Neanderthalic savages that are at the head of all this harassment of women. That's her angle. And they're up there because they think they're telling their story. Well, I don't believe them. I don't believe them. First, let's hear what they're saying, and then I'll tell you. I'll break it down for you and give you my thoughts.
Title, Kitty. What a title.
Thank you.
Wait.
So
Thank you.
what a title, Kitty. What a title.
Thank you.
So you were in that home for 2 years.
Yes.
Within 3 weeks, he became physically abusive.
It was actually Chicago, not Atlanta.
Okay.
About 2 weeks after I had moved in, I had confronted him about a videotape that I had saw, and it was a girl that he had introduced me to, and that was the first time he became abusive, because I noticed that the girl in the tape was someone that he had gone to court for, and he had introduced me to her, and I didn't know how to handle the information that I had just...
Just to be clear, he went to court on child pornography charges for a sex tape he was in. The
Yes.
prosecutors alleged he was having sex with a 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He was acquitted because the jury said, we can't identify that woman, and so we don't know whether she was 14.
But the tone, how she's saying it, it's as if to say, this is just information I'm telling you, but that means nothing. We know this nigger is guilty. We know it was a 14-year-old. You see, that's her tone. That's her whole position. Like, not that he was ever innocent, because there's no way a black man could ever be innocent. Hear this bitch again. Y'all know she really works me up. I've done pieces on her ass. Her whore ass.
That woman, and so we don't know whether she was
Wait,
14.
let's hear it.
They alleged she was having sex with a 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He was acquitted because the jury said, we can't identify that woman, and so we don't know whether she was 14. So they didn't think they could prove it was a child.
Right.
And
right.
you know this girl, and
He introduced me to her, and this is 2011, so years had gone by, and this person's an older woman now, but when I saw the videotape, I realized that was the same girl he had introduced me to. So,
and how old do you
he
believe
flipped
she
out on
was
me.
in that sex tape?
When I did the math, compared to how old she was when he introduced her to me, it landed on 14.
So you believe he was guilty of that charge?
Yes, and I confronted him about it, and that's when the first time he abused me.
Now, the white bitch's reason for saying that is to forward what I just said to you. Well, there's no way this black man could ever be innocent. Now she's saying to her, so you believe he was guilty of this. That's her way of saying, see, we have a black person here saying he was guilty. Follow this now, everybody. You got to know this enemy. That's why I preach so much about their ass. You have to know this enemy so that you know how to interpret white devilry. You understand? I tell you, I have a master's degree in white devil. I speak it. I teach it. I have a doctorate in it. You understand what I'm saying? You can sign up for classes in the fall, damn it. But the other thing, too, is she just said there, and I confronted him, and that's when he attacked me, I think she said. But she alluded to that earlier, just a couple seconds ago, when she began talking about this girl. And if you looked at her body language when she was talking about the girl, she's representing it there today as if, in other words, she's not saying why she confronted him and why he attacked her. I'm suggesting to you that she found out it was another bitch, and that's why she confronted him. Not like, oh, this is that girl and you did wrong things to her, because she would have grabbed her fucking Louboutin purse and been out. But that didn't happen. She confronted him because there was another bitch. That's what this was about. And if you look at her body language when she's talking about her, it's that dismissive body language that women do when they talk about some other chick. They always dismiss them as if she means nothing, and then we hardly want to say her name, and she's nothing. Women know what I'm talking about. Brothers too, even. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's why she confronted him. Because it was another bitch, and she wasn't the only one. I can't. Let's go on.
I know you say he became extremely controlling.
Yes.
How so?
I had to wear sweatpants. I had to stand up when he would walk in a room. I did have to be on his phone plan. I know that the Savages did mention that. He would put a lot of his girlfriends on his phone plan so he can control, like, who you're talking to, how often you talk to your family, what you're texting, things like that.
Is it true he controlled things as little as you walking out of a room, you going to use the bathroom, you wanting to eat?
Yes.
How? What would you have to do?
You would have to send a text message to one of his runners.
By the way, look at the demeanor, her face. Does she look distraught over this, everybody? Do we see distraught here? Because I don't see it. And maybe my eyes are just not focused right now. I don't see distraught. She seems like she's describing a meal, a romantic meal or something that she's recalling, or some childhood memory or something, you know, happy or something. She's almost to the point of smiling. Let's go on. By the way, she's very beautiful. Can I just add that? Just gotta give the sister her props on that. But just, that means nothing. Damn it.
Just asking, like, you know, if you can go to the restroom, and then they'll relay the information to him. Because you weren't, like, free to walk throughout the house.
You had to ask permission to go use the bathroom?
Yes. Yes.
Look, you see the heifer try to sound black? You had to ask permission to go use the bathroom? Listen, wait, hear that now. Turn your damn volume up, goddammit. We're gonna slice this, goddammit, like a damn MRI.
If you can go to the restroom, and then they'll relay the information to him. Because you weren't, like, free to walk throughout the house.
You had to ask permission to go use the bathroom?
Yes.
Go use the bathroom? Like,
yes.
Girl. You had to ask permission to go use the bathroom? Girl.
Permission to go use the bathroom?
Yes. Gotta hear it one more time.
Relay the information to him. Because you weren't, like, free to walk throughout the house.
You had to ask permission to go use the bathroom?
Yes. Yes.
And he would use food, you claim, as a punishment.
Right. When I met him, I was about 130 pounds. When I left 2 years later, I was 107 pounds.
So how does somebody like you, a successful DJ, living a normal life, you meet him at this party, how do you get sucked into a situation?
The smile. The smile.
Where you agree to these crazy terms, right? That's what a lot of people are going to be asking.
Right.
She's got no answer for it. You see, the truth comes easy, everybody. I always tell you, because it don't change. The truth comes out like just water. That's a valid question there. Not giving my bitch no credit, but it's a valid question. And look how her whole, now the eyes are closing as she's looking for answers and she can't find it, and oh my God.
You agree to these crazy terms, right? That's what a lot of people are going to be asking.
Right. It was just a normal, the same way that if you met a guy at a gas station and you thought, okay, this is going to be, you don't have those expectations where...
No, that's not the question, bitch. That's not the question. We're not talking about when you first meet somebody. She's saying, how did a girl like you allow yourself to get, when he started the bullshit, how is it that you ended up going along with this? Let's keep this in context, everybody. Hear this now.
To these crazy terms, right? That's what a lot of people are going to be asking.
Right. It was just a normal, the same way that if you met a guy at a gas station and you thought, okay, this is going to be, you don't have those expectations where...
Still not answering it.
I mean, you just don't think, like, when you go into something and you give up things and you compromise, like, okay, I'm going to move to another city or another state, you know, for my relationship. When you give those things up and for love...
No, bitch. Don't throw out love. Don't, because you don't know what love is. I always preach about that. But she's still not gotten to the answer. So fine, you did all that. Now, the bullshit has started. How do you end up staying in that? She's still not answered that. And she says, for your relationship, before she said love. She said, when you put up all your stuff and you move, for your relationship, goes back to what I'm saying. This bitch thought she was going to be the only one. That's why she moved across and did all of her stuff, and she picked up she thought she was going to be the only one. And that's why when she found out it was going to be other bitches, that's when she started confronting. That's why she can't answer the question of why she stayed, because she thought she was going to be staying because eventually she was going to run all the other bitches off or kill them off, or he was going to finally say, oh, it's just me and you, or something like this. The bitch is dirty. Let's go back just a skosh and pick it up.
I'm going to move to another city or another state, from our relationship. When you give those things up, and for love, you don't expect that person's going to turn into something else.
Okay, but now they have. Answer it.
You're just in it. So by the time I walked away from those things, which I detail in my book, and it'll make more sense.
No, don't defer to the book. How did you end up staying once the bullshit started? She's not answered it.
No, but they ring you in bit by bit.
Yeah, and I just felt like I gave up everything, and then once I was there...
Well, they reel you in bit by bit.
And...
Listen to the white horse.
For love, you don't expect that person's going to turn into something else. You're just in it. So by the time I walked away from those things, which I detail in my book, and it'll make more sense.
No, but they ring you in bit by bit.
Yeah, and I just felt like
she knows it's not an answer. She goes, yeah, but they reel you in bit by bit. He said, yeah, and then she just agrees with it. Yeah, and it's in my book.
Which I detail in my book, and it'll make more sense.
No, but they ring you in bit by bit.
Yeah, and I just felt like I gave up everything, and then once...
Okay, you gave up everything, but how'd you end up staying?
Once I was there, I was just in it, and the more I started learning about him, I just got sucked into it, and I felt like I didn't have anything else to go back to.
So it was okay then. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. So at some point, it was okay. Listen, at some point, something has to be so repugnant to you and so disgusting to you that nothing would keep you in that environment. You see what I'm saying? I'm going in deeper. Let's finish now.
Now, Sante, did you have a similar experience with him?
I did.
I did.
When I first met him back in 2013 during the Black Panties tour.
Wait, during the Black Panties tour? Huh? The Black Panties tour, everybody. Not the Save the Children, Feed a Whale, Respect of Women, no. The Black Panties tour. Everybody know what R. Kelly is. You feel me? He is that brother. And by the way, sisters are... Let me finish. Let me shut up, Jedi. God damn it, shut your ass up. Let's finish.
Sucked into it, and I felt like I didn't have anything else to go back to.
Now, Sante, did you have a similar experience with him?
I did. When I first met him back in 2013 during the Black Panties tour, he was this wonderful guy. He always made you laugh. You never saw anything wrong with him. Flying back and forth for 2 years, going to different shows, hanging out with him. He was just always this funny guy. And it was the summer of 2016, the beginning of the buffet tour. He pretty much put me on the bus from city to city back in Dallas, Texas, and I ended up in Oklahoma. And from Oklahoma, I ended up in Atlanta.
But did he control you in the way he controlled Kitty?
He controlled me once I moved in.
How so? Can you give us examples?
So then you should have moved out. By the way, another very beautiful sister. Very beautiful.
Example, when I was just flying in back and forth, he would send me texts. And for instance, I want to say Easter of 2015, I went to Chicago and I stayed in the hotel for like 3 days before even having contact with him. And the day when I was about to leave, he just texted me out the blue and said, come to the studio. And I called an Uber to the studio. I arrived there like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I told him I'm here. And he had his assistant put me in a Sprinter, which is a traveling van. I sat there from like 11 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock that night.
But what about, did you have to ask permission to go to the bathroom and get food and leave a room?
Yes, when I was on the Sprinter, I had to use the restroom, and I texted him, Daddy, I need to use the restroom. No,
Daddy?
Yes. We were required to call him Daddy.
Required to?
Yes, he told us to call him Daddy.
So the moment that he tells you to call him Daddy, you don't grab your fucking, Louis Vuitton purse and rush for the door? Huh? And then you hear the white audience, because they don't understand. You feel me? And they don't know anything about black sexuality. They don't. Because no white heifer in there dealing with any white dude is going to have any reason to call him daddy, because their sexuality is not the same. The fire is not the same. As a matter of fact, there is no fire. Black sexuality is fire. Fire. You understand? Fire. Let's go on.
You would address him as daddy.
If you didn't, you were...
Yeah, you would get in trouble if you didn't.
Yeah, or slapped.
How many women you were there most recently, so how many women are in this house?
At the time when I was there, it was a total of 4 of us, and it was 2.
Did you see Joycelyn?
Yes, I did see Joycelyn. My first time seeing Joycelyn was when I was at the house, and at this time he told me, whenever you enter a room, you have to knock on a door and wait for permission for someone to say, come in.
So, is that when you grab your Louis Vuitton purse and rush for the door? I'm waiting for you to rush for the door. I'm waiting. I'm sure we're going to hear that. I'm just so positive we're going to hear that they, at some point, somebody grabbed their purse and rushed for the door because they were so outraged.
Do you think Joycelyn is there of her own free will?
No, I don't.
Do you think she's been brainwashed?
Definitely. Because the things that he say, he make you turn. He pretty much try to say that your family is jealous that you're with him, your family wants to be with him, and you're happy, and this is what you need to do. And if you disobey him, he would like fake cry and make you sympathize. For instance, when we were in Oklahoma.
Let me just stand you by, because he gave us a statement, and he's called these accusations unjust and unfair. He says the media has not spoken to enough women who support him. And in a statement to Variety, his management team said, Kelly's music is a part of American and African American culture that should never and will never be silenced. We will vigorously resist this attempted public lynching of a black man who has made extraordinary contributions to our culture. I have to get you to react to that. Your thoughts that this is a public lynching of a black man?
That's bull crap.
See, they brought her on to, listen everybody, I tell you, I know television, I know it. And these women didn't just come on and just sit down there. There were producers that were reaching out to them long before they ever got to sit in front of this white bitch in the studio. They've already prepped them. And they're very crafty. They're very crafty. And so we're going to need you to say this. Make sure, is this how you make you feel like it's your own words? But they've already maneuvered you and manipulated you into saying what they need to be said. So this is a poignant question. Do you believe this is the public lynching of a black man? That's bull crap. Wow. Wow. Let's hear that part again. It's like a couple seconds more and we're done with this.
Management team said Kelly's music is a part of American and African American culture.
And by the way, I'm sure they just put that American bullshit in there gratuitously. R. Kelly is African culture. You feel me? He is like one of the, R. Kelly's just, he's one of them people that we just hold close. You feel me? I can't even articulate it right, but he's somebody we hold close. He's maybe I'll come up with it before the end of this damn video. Let's go on.
Sure. That should never and will never be silenced. We will vigorously resist this attempted public lynching of a black man who has made extraordinary contributions to our culture. I have to get you to react to that. Your thoughts that this is a public lynching of a black man?
That's bull crap. I mean, I'm just going to be honest.
And of course, the white people clap. Look at the white bitch over here to the right. You see? And then she's smiling embarrassingly because she doesn't really agree with that. You see? See there? Oh my God. Now this is the only time they show the audience now. And they're only showing this so you can see the two black people, the three or four black people that are in the frame. That's it. Just to say it's not just white people that are responding. You see? But their shot falls flat and fails because the black folks are not clapping. Huh? Why they're in this bitch's audience to begin with, I do not know.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest.
Let me show you.
Listen,
Black folks
it
not
takes a
typing.
lot of
Not typing.
strength and gut.
We'll see it again.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It's bad.
Listen,
Black
it
folks not
takes a
typing.
lot
In fact, your sister here with the church hat on, she got an attitude about it. She don't appreciate the shit. She's over these bitches already. She's over their ass.
of strength and guts to come out and speak publicly about having found yourself in this kind of a situation. I know it's not easy.
Okay. Listen. That's the end of it. Listen. R. Kelly music always have black women on fire. They love some R. Kelly. And even brothers have taken pointers from his damn music. Can I put that out there? But black women swoon for this dude. You see what I'm saying? He's from Chicago. He's dark-skinned. He's a little rough around the edges. He's bow-legged. He's pigeon-toed. Come on, man. He can sing like that and write songs like that and play piano like that. Any woman, any sister in his presence is going to start disrobing. Come on. And they ass was there for the shit. They love them some R. Kelly. And if he showed up in that damn studio right now and said, come on, they bitch ass would traipse right on out behind him. Something else went on that we don't know about. You see? And again, I go back to where I began. That the fact, okay, if you want to be on TV One telling this or something like that, something that's directly to the African community, fine. But you on a white bitch show. Why are you going to tell Massa about this? Why? And part of the reason is to sell her damn book. It'll make more sense in the book. No, bitch, it don't make sense right here. So how's it going to change in the book? It don't. You don't have an answer for that. You don't have an answer other than the sex was good. R. Kelly got money. You was in a big house. And you liked it. You know, and speaking of big house, this is his damn house. This is his house. You feel me? That's a big ass house. You could get lost in it and everything. But nobody ran for the door. That's why they stayed. Not, oh, I was brainwashed and I was under mind control and oh my God, and I couldn't do anything for myself and I needed a bib and a diaper. It was this and the money and the ding-a-ling, homie. Let's keep it 100. Do you understand me? So we see this common denominator when they try and switch it and say, well, powerful men can do things to women. No. Women are attracted by that power and that money. Truth comes in silence, everybody. And every human being has a sleep cycle. And every human being has to take a bath or a shower or just sit on the toilet. There are moments of loneliness where your thoughts come to you, where your conscience begins to speak to you. And somewhere in their silence, they made a conscious decision that they didn't have a problem with this shit. That's what I'm trying to put forward. I'm over it. And it is a public lynching. And that's why your black asses is up there. They need you to forward this lynching. You give them permission. That's why they all broke out in applause when she said that's bullcrap. Because in their white minds, because remember, you're dealing with Yanny and Laurel, everybody. They're hearing fucking Laurel. So in their white mind, all they heard was, there is no racism. That's what they heard. That's what they heard. Because you saw all the black folks in the audience were sitting there like, this is some bullshit. And they all looked like they was looking at both of them like, this bitch. All the black people kind of had that look on their face like, this bitch. Let's see him again. Wait.
Listen, it takes a lot.
Look, dude is over it. This sister is definitely over it.
Strength and guts to come out and a public lynching of a black man.
That's bullcrap. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It's bull.
Listen, it takes a lot of strength and guts.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I am over it. Do you understand? We know what the real deal is. And you showing up at a Black Panties tour, you see what I'm saying? This man exudes sex and black sexuality. When you around this brother and you a beautiful woman, you think you're just there to fucking talk about the fucking Disneyland or something? They knew what was up. And like with anything, you have people that are disloyal, who will do anything for a coin, who will jump on a bandwagon and don't give a fuck. And that's what the S is doing right now. I proclaim to you. I proclaim. Now, I want to move into this main segment, everybody, about this illiteracy and so forth, because, wow. First, let's see this this clip of Wendy, which is how I found out about it. Let's see this now.
And also, you know, Robert, and it's long been said, but he actually did admit this to me, which I was shocked that he was actually admitting this, because, you know, he can't read, he can't write, and he can't add. You've never heard this before? Yeah. It's been out here. Where you all been? Anyway, and he admitted this to me, and I won't tell you what he said about how he gets maneuvers, you know, through the world and things like that. But the idea that people are surrounding you and still wouldn't put you in school and get you as smart as your music is smart, I can't understand it. I can't understand not knowing how to read, write, or add, and I don't understand parents who unleash their kids. Oh. That's it.
She kills me with that fucking Q-tip bullshit. How the fuck does that stop your tear? I can't. I can't. Anyway, what I wanted to say about this is, when I saw this, I saw that there was also some stuff online about whether or not her reaction was genuine. Was it really out of sympathy and all of it? I don't know, because Wendy's a fake bitch. And I never believe her when she's crying, because I think her face is so fucked up, like she can't cry, and then like her face muscles probably don't work. She claims she's got that thyroid bullshit. I think it's drugs, but that's just me. Fuck her. But I will say this, and one of the things that really prompted me to even speak on this, or the main thing, because I had a kid that worked for me, everybody, back in 2014, and outstanding was this young brother. I would recommend him to anybody that wanted to hire him for any damn thing. But one day I find out that he couldn't read. And it broke my heart. I cried all night once I got home. I called my sister in New York and I go, Tracy can't read. He can't read. I was in the hiccup cry and everything. I was just devastated. Because here this kid was, a senior in high school. And how I found out about it was that I had him labeling some merchandise. And it had happened a couple times before that stuff was just completely mislabeled. But I just, I got on him and I just didn't think, it was just nothing. And then, what was the moment, Jedi? something. We were talking. I don't know. Anyway, something happened. I think he referred to something by the wrong name, and I go, "What's this?" And his reaction, I was like, "Oh, what's the name of this?" And eventually, then he just looked at me, and I went, "You can't read." I've never experienced this in my life, everybody. It devastated me. And I was to the point of, and like to her point where she said, how's the parents? What did she say? I don't want to watch the bitch again anyways. But my reaction was, I wanted to go up to his school and say, what the fuck? How is this happening? How? And then go to his parents and say, what the fuck? Why can't Tracy read? How has he been allowed to come this far in life and he cannot read? It floored me, I'm telling you. I had so many emotions and so many feelings and so like just confusion, outrage, sadness, distraught. I mean, I can't. And I learned from him, as I'm sure it is with R. Kelly, but man, how you R. Kelly, there's contracts to be signed. I mean, well, of course he has lawyers and managers and stuff, but still, you need to be able to double check stuff. You can't do that if you can't read. But what I found out from Tracy was that he had learned to associate colors and shapes with things. So if he saw a word that he could, which he can't read it, but he saw a word, he just remembered the shape of the letters, and that would tell him that that's that. Some things would be colors. So I mean, there's all kinds of little tricks and faking it. How do you get out of fucking first grade even if you can't read? That's a willful act. You know there was teachers that stood in front of him from the time he was in fucking kindergarten to goddamn senior year of high school that have stood in front of him and knew absolutely he couldn't read. Why wasn't there a red flag raised? Why weren't letters sent home, and why wasn't he held back completely and said, we absolutely can't pass you, you can't read? My God, dude, I can't. But there's more to this, because apparently I found something that apparently, at least according to the header on it, it claims that R. Kelly admitted this. I haven't read it, but we're going to look at that right now. R. Kelly allegedly admitted that he cannot read or write to Wendy Williams, but there was another one. This one. R. Kelly reveals he suffers from illiteracy. Now, I couldn't find a date on this. I could not find a date on this. So, and I don't know what all this damn shit is. Why all this damn header is up here. I'm over it. Anyways. Oh, here it is. October 2009. R&B singer-songwriter R. Kelly revealed that despite his musical talents, he suffers from illiteracy and barely made it through grade school. The Grammy winner recently spoke at the Midwest Musical Festival in Chicago about the trials and tribulations of starting his career. Quote, when I was trying to make it out here, I already knew, and I was stubborn about it, he said. I don't even read really, and I'm not afraid to say that. My cousins and brothers used to tease me. You can't even read right. How you think you're gonna come up? The only reason I graduated from grammar school is because I had a great jump shot. I went to high school and my teacher told me you will one of the greatest. What the fuck? Maybe they meant you are or you will be. We don't know, because they can't fucking proofread their shit. told me that you're one of the greatest writers of all times. I believed. You have to believe it. I can't believe anything if you're hating. You can't believe anything if you're hating. You can't achieve anything if you're hating. Since being exonerated from child molestation charges, Kelly has been working on his upcoming release. When news of Kelly's possible sexual escapades with a then underage girl broke in 2001, the singer maintained his innocence despite the leak of a sex tape showing him and the victim. He has received mixed reactions in response to the allegations, but the 42-year-old stated that he is undaunted by his critics. I got y'all beat if you're hating on me, he said, because I love you. That's why I keep doing what I do. I'm over it. Last year, Kelly spoke publicly about the child molestation case. Quote, I can't keep answering these questions, he said in an interview. If you were charged with something and you were found innocent, then you can't be found guilty for being found innocent. Kelly's forthcoming album is due in stores October 12. Okay, so that's that one. And we'll just scan this other one because this I didn't realize this is just about the Wendy Williams things. Wendy cries saying that R. Kelly doesn't know how to read or write. It's difficult to believe that because it's difficult to believe that with as much access to education as there is in North America, there are still people who don't know how to read or write. While illiteracy was a phenomenon we can read about in our history books, reading and writing are considered some of the most important tools to learning during childhood development. According to Wendy's fake ass, R. Kelly may not even know about all the negative press coverage he has been receiving these days with his alleged sex cult. While the media has been heavily covering any updates in the developing story, R. Kelly allegedly once revealed to the television host that he cannot read, write, or add numbers. Damn, you can't even count your coin! Almost 10 years ago, R. Kelly revealed that he had an issue with reading, noting that he had only graduated elementary school because of his basketball skills. According to Wendy Williams, the singer still suffers from literacy, and she also has additionally major secrets about him that she pledges to take to the grave with her. When discussing R. Kelly's current scandal, Wendy broke down in tears at the mere thought that he could not read or write. While the news is certainly surprising, the host claims she has many more stories about him that she was shocked he even told her. Whatever R. Kelly said to her has to be pretty bad, because if it's anything more surprising than the rumors that are already out, we're not sure we even want to hear it. And then watch the video below, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I always think it's a little evil for people to, like, you guys notice even in my videos, sometimes if I start to say something, I go, never mind, I'm not going to say that. And then I'll always say, well, let me just tell you what I was going to say, just so you don't walk away with a cliffhanger, because I fucking hate cliffhangers. So, and I just think it's a torturous thing to do to somebody. So, fuck her for even mentioning. If you know other stuff that you're not going to say, then don't mention that you know other stuff. Otherwise, your ass should be dragged out by that fake ass wig of yours. Because now, you've essentially, you are not going to say it, but you know she can't hold water. And she's built her whole fucking empire on gossip and tearing down other people's lives. And talking shit about them. So, just the fact that she's mentioning there's other stuff, she knows she's opening the gate for somebody else to go digging. She wants it out there, but she don't want to be the one to say it. And to me, that's still an act of disloyalty. You don't get the credit for being loyal because you didn't say it. You only said that so that people know there's other stuff, so that people would start digging for other stuff. Fuck her, plastic bitch. I can't. And the last thing I'm going to say is about her ass is this. You know, back when she had the fainting spells and she was taking 2 weeks off or whatever she took off from her show, there was a video that I had started preparing everybody that I never released for you. You know, and I was trying to see some light in the darkness, so to speak. you know. And one of the things that I was putting out there, because even though I believe the bitch is on drugs, she admitted she had a drug problem before. We know a lot of times people relapse on drugs, and plus all the signs were there, you know. But and plus when she has those food cooking segments, which are never segments of cooking, you never leave there with a fucking recipe. The bitch just talks and eats all through the goddamn segment. I hate the way she eats. It's just, I can't even look at the TV when she's eating something. It makes me sick. It's not even natural. It's like she's eating like a goddamn bearded dragon or some bullshit. I can't with her. But what I was trying to put forth as a credit to her in that video is that here she is, no matter how fucked up she is, she's still a black woman. Coon de jour indeed, but she's still a black woman. And I was going to try and impress upon my audience the amount of weight that's on her shoulders, you know, because she is a single person. She don't have no talent. She don't sing. She don't dance. She don't act. She don't do shit. She is a media person, a journalist, and a radio personality, and now TV personality, and all of it. She doesn't have a talent. And when she comes out, and literally it's live around the world. When they say now, live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams show. When those doors open, it's her ass in however many countries she's in. There's no retakes. There's no editing. It's her ass. And for the first 20 minutes of the show, which is an eternity in television, there's no commercials. It's just her in that chair. And how do you hold an audience and entertain people daily? Not once a week, daily. With just sitting in that damn chair. Like you don't have no talent at all. It's an extraordinary feat. It is. It is. I will give her that. I will give her that. You know. But, I'm still left salty by this whole thing of that there's other stuff. It was already salacious enough to admit that, you know, to bring out that R. Kelly couldn't read, which now we know from the article I just read to you from 2009 that that was not new information. And she even said in her thing, like, y'all don't know this? This is out there. So that was enough. You didn't have to mention this other stuff, you know? That was meant not as if, oh, I'm being loyal to R. Kelly. It was meant to throw breadcrumbs out there so that other people would bring the information. And now she might even go and leak it to somebody and have them bring it out, so it's not even the pain is not on her hands. She's a conniving bitch. But I am very shocked and surprised by R. Kelly. I am, you know. I'm surprised, you know. Not to the point of like, oh my God, this never happens, because we know that exists. But he's been out there forever. We all know R. Kelly, and that would just be a shock to anybody. Like, are you serious? You can't read or write? What? Like, how are you sitting in studios with people going over sheet music, and you know, like, I can't. I don't know how that. Wow, that's a magic act. That is a magic act. Wow. Last thing I'll say, I promise. You know, as far as these sex cults and, you know, having women hostage and all the bullshit, I don't know how much of that I believe. And even if it's completely true, what I do know is that when you are wealthy and you have money, and you're at the level that R. Kelly has been at, he's been very wealthy for a very long time. You understand what I'm saying? Because remember, he's a songwriter as well, everybody. So it's not just the shit he writes for himself. It's the shit he's written for other people. There's checks coming to him every damn day. I promise you, several times a day, he's getting checks. You know. But I think that when you're in that world of fame and that level of economic status, you don't know what you will do. Because boredom is a big part of the lives of people who are successful. You know, and there's a lot of downtime. I always tell you that most of fame is like 2 seconds. Most of being famous and successful is not seen by cameras and fans. You know, I always use Beyonce as an example. You know, Beyonce, you just see her on stage with a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing on her and she's killing it, and oh my God. But there is months and months of work that go into anything. She's got to write an album, she's got to be inspired, then you have to write, you have to get with producers and engineers and studio time and choreographer. I mean, it's so much that you have to do to, you know, like you just seeing the end result of, you see like 5 minutes of something that was like a year of work, you know. And so there's a lot of downtime with people that are in entertainment, whether it's actors or singers, or it doesn't matter. And you know, what do you do with your time? And the idle mind is the devil's workshop. You know, so, but we have to at least hold on to things that we know would be staples with African people. At the end of the day, R. Kelly's still an African brother, period. And so, while there may be some freaky deaky stuff going on, I'm more inclined to say that this wasn't like a Harvey Weinstein type situation. You know, these heifers that participated in any of this shit did it because they wanted to. I believe that. I believe that simply because of who he is. Simply because of who he is. And he's got a certain swag to him and all that stuff. And so it don't matter, you know. And that's why I don't believe them heifers sitting up there talking to that fucking Fox News bitch. I don't believe them. I don't. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you soon. This is the Jedi.